What's up, everybody? How are you? This is Mike Zagari. It is 6 p.m. on Tuesday, June 5th. Excited to be here. See, we have a lot of people that are registered for the onboarding and what's new webinar. There's a lot of new stuff to share. This is an ever-evolving field, advertising and all of the new features that are coming out and enhanced brand content and lots of exciting stuff. I'll try to get to a lot of it today. This is my second presentation of the day, so that everything's fresh in my mind, and I can't wait to share it with everybody during this call. So for those of you who are new, we're going to be going over some of the new stuff that's going on inside of the world of sponsored products, but we're also going to be going over the onboarding process, just the layout of PPC Entourage, so that as you go through this demonstration, you can have a better understanding as to how to use and leverage the blueprint and also use and leverage PPC Entourage to help scale your Amazon sponsored products and also spend less money doing so. So really excited for this. And I see we have a couple people. I'm going to put the chat box on. And if you guys have any questions, please let me know. Just some housekeeping. Please stay until the very end. We're going to go over a lot of stuff on this call. There is more than enough that I could so much to share with you guys. So I'm going to try to share as much as I can on this call. I have until about 6:30, 6:35, and then we'll take some questions, and then we will go from there. And once again, if you have any questions after that, head on over to the Facebook group where I can answer them on a daily basis. All right, guys, I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to go from here. We're going to go over some new strategies today as well, because there's a couple new things that we are doing with our clients, with our management clients that we work with. We're setting up campaigns a little bit differently than we have been in the past, so I wanted to go over that as well. All right, so let's dive in. The first thing I wanted to show you guys is PPC Entourage. For those of you who have been with us for a while, we have a new look that I hope that you guys are enjoying. I know we have worked very hard on trying to improve the layout and design and make it much more user-friendly. So we are constantly making tweaks, and we've noticed some tweaks that we're making that are going to go live next week, a couple of which I will show you on this webinar that we think is going to help make everything even easier. So like I said, really excited about that. And PPC Entourage is broken up into 3 separate tabs. If you haven't set your profit margins and your cost of goods, I highly recommend doing that inside of listing optimization. And you can do it just on the main page by clicking listing optimization and putting in your cost of goods. This way we know how much profit you're making. And we will actually look at real-time sales, and we'll take the average of those sales, look at your FBA fees, all that stuff. All you have to do is enter in your cost of goods. This way we know what's going on. Next, you can go over to campaign optimization on the list page, this is where you're going to do all of your optimization. And you could enter in now in bulk, you could enter in your target ACOS. We call that the ACOS profit zone. So think of the ACOS profit zone as your line in the sand. This is where you deem a campaign either profitable or good or unprofitable. So for example, we have these set up as 50. You could make these 40. Really depends on the type of campaign, the goal of that campaign, and also what your profit margins are. If you're selling at a 35% profit margin and you want to break even, well, then you would make this 35. Pretty simple and straightforward. Just note that our system will take this number and it will use that number to help determine some calculations to see which keyword search terms and SKUs are profitable or not profitable relative to your ACOS profit zone. And we're going to dive into that a little bit deeper as we go on. Lastly, the Power PPC is where you go to expand your PPC. We now have 5 different tabs, and this is just like Seller Central, where you can go and make automatic and manual campaigns. Keyword expansion is where you can go and expand. We're going to be working with this today because this is the research campaign is the campaign that we change and are changing inside of the blueprint. So we're going to go over that today. Search term expansion, where you find the search terms that have done well for you and made sales, and then you turn them into campaigns in seconds. Match type expansion is where you take the winning match types and test them out in other match types. And then keyword search is a really cool tool, which I really don't focus on, but you can search any keyword across any one of your campaigns and do some ninja style stuff in there, and also find duplicates across any one of your campaigns by searching the SKUs and the campaigns to find where you have duplicates. We really don't spend a lot of time on this stuff, but lots more to follow on this tab as well. All right, so we're going to get into, we're going to go and start with, let me see if there's any questions. Hey, can you guys see my screen? Can you guys see? Brad says, have you started as nothing on screen? I did share my screen. It's screen share on. If there's anyone else that's having trouble, please let me know. If not, I'm going to continue and go from there. Hey, what's up, Brad? If you can hear me and see, just let me know, okay? Okay, good, Dan. I'm glad you can see. All right, good stuff. All right, guys. So the first thing I want to show you is the Blueprint series. Now, everyone has access to the Blueprint series. The Blueprint series is going to go over the 4 main campaigns that we use to set up inside of Entourage. Obviously, the automatic campaign, people ask me all the time, do we use the automatic campaign? And yes, we do. It has its advantages. It has some disadvantages, but for the most part, the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. You get visibility on other people's listings. You get advanced knowledge about what's selling, what's not selling. You can use those ASINs to do a lot of reverse ASIN searches and find out even more about your audience. You can sell stuff that you've made sales on. Like, for example, if you have an ASIN that comes up in your search report, you can go and source that. Lots of things you can do. I highly recommend that. That being said, you have to optimize it. The next one is the research campaign, where you're finding research and you're setting up manual campaigns. The big difference between what we taught a year ago and now is that these research campaigns are much more relevant. We're finding relevant keywords and search terms, and we're putting them into this research campaign. And what's even more different is now we're suggesting less keywords per campaign. You may want to set up multiple campaigns, like if you have thousands of keywords that you want to test, but less per campaign. And now we're going to a 4 ad group model. We're testing this out, and it's been very successful so far with our managed service clients. 4 ad group model. The first ad group is going to be broad match. Second is phrase. Third is exact. And we're doing slightly higher keyword bid prices on the phrase and then the exact. And the 4th ad group is going to be individual words. So we're going to set that up and spend some time on that today. Automatic keyword research. Then you find the winners, the ones, the search terms. Now, these are different than keywords. Our system is going to find the search terms after you've set these up, and we're going to turn those search terms into keywords inside of their own campaign called the ACOS scraping campaign. And then finally, the PE campaign, which is an advanced campaign for profitable campaigns. It's basically where you're setting up the campaign in phrase and then exact match type. And then you are trying to get those sales to be more profitable and optimizing a little bit differently, which again is all spelled out inside of the blueprint. The reason why I show you the blueprint is because the tabs inside of Entourage go with the blueprint. Here's where you set up the automatic campaign. Here's where you set the research campaign up. Now, guys, like I said before, we're spending time finding keywords, and I'm going to show you guys a couple things I've been doing recently to do that. So let me head on over to marketing services. If you guys don't have access to this, that's okay. This is more of not really an advanced technique. It's been around a while, but I like it a lot because it finds relative keywords to what I'm selling, and you can go ahead and search a lot of competitors. So what you're going to do is, if you have access to Vendor Express, you're going to go to sponsored products and go to Amazon and type in what you're looking for, like let's say grill brush, and you could start to add these over here and find relative products and have this as the foundation, because you know that these products are showing up and they're doing very well, and then you can start to do some research. So once you do that and you go down here, Amazon's going to give you a list of suggested keywords based on your competitors, which is a really cool place to start. Once again, you don't have to start this way, but anything that Amazon, any intelligence that Amazon gives us, I would like to take advantage of that and then throw some of these campaigns into a research campaign. Now, you're not going to see this because I am not sharing this part of my screen, but what you do is you copy these and you would paste them right into PPC Entourage. Now let me copy them. This way we can go from there. And now we're assuming these are relevant. You can go through these to see if they are relevant or not. And once again, we're looking for the most relevant keywords and search terms. So once you've deemed them relevant, you can paste them right in here. And what this is going to do is it's going to allow you to, again, this is not grill brushes, but it's going to allow you to search for the SKUs and the campaigns, and then it's going to allow you to see if this is a new keyword only. Now, it's obviously these are all going to be new keywords because they're two different products, just for example's sake. So we have all of the keywords down here, and now we want to put them inside of their own research campaign. Once again, we're doing 4 ad groups per research campaign, which is, we can't recommend that. There's other ways to do this, but this is what we have been doing lately. And what we just added, which is really cool, I want to show the new people, the people that have been around for a while, is we're going to add this to an existing campaign. And you're going to go, let's say, here it is, the research campaign. And let's say we wanted to set up those ad groups. Well, you can do 3 of them right away now, all at once. Instead of having to go back and forth, I will show you guys. 1 second. Hang tight. Let's pray. There we go. Perfect. Add to new ad groups. Now, here's what's new. Brand new. Plus. So we're going to name this Broad. We're going to name this Freeze. And we're going to name this Exact. So now we're doing a research campaign, and we don't have to go back and forth. We would select the product. Once again, I highly recommend, guys, breaking things down into specifics. So we're going to have 3 ad groups, 1 product per ad group. If we want to go back and do it again, we would add the second product. We wanted 2 products in the campaign. The more specific you are with your ad groups and your match types, the easier it is to optimize, and I will show you why in a second. So we're going to select 1 product here, continue to the next step, and then we can change the match type and change the you can add more keywords here, and then you can change the match type and the bid price. On Tuesday of next week, we will have live. You can change it all at once. Right now, it's a little bit of a hassle, but right now, starting next Tuesday, you can change this all to phrase, and this all to phrase, and then all to exact down here, and then change the bid price. You want the bid price on phrase to be slightly higher than exact. Like I said, guys, this is brand new, so people are hearing this for the first time. We haven't emailed about this. This is new as of this morning, and it will be improved as of next week. The point is, these are 3 different match types right here. And then the 4th match type, the 4th ad group, rather, is the individual words. So we're going to add the words individually right over here. And simply, it's not hard to do that, which you would just go back to Power PPC, keyword expansion. We're going to put them back in over here, and I'll show you guys how to turn them into individual words. Find new keywords. And then just click on individual words, and then copy to a clipboard. So these will be their own ad group for research purposes as a broad match type with a low bid. Key point here, guys, broad match type, because we want to see what Amazon will match us up with. Low bid price, new, and it has its own ad group in a research campaign. Okay, so if that makes sense to you, just type something in the chat box. If you want me to go over that again, let me know. If not, we are going to move on. You know what? I'm going to move on because there's a lot to discuss today. A lot's going on. All right, cool. Next thing is going to be search term expansion. Now, this is going to be the 3rd campaign on the list here. We're taking the winners from the automatic and the keyword research, and we're going to the ACO scraping. Hey, Dan, this is not dependent on Vendor Express. In fact, another tool I wanted to show you is keyword research. My viral launch. You can do the same thing with any research tools. The key is we want to find relevant keywords, and we want to put them into keyword expansion and find new keywords. It doesn't matter if you have Vendor Express or not. Okay? All right, so now the 3rd campaign, we're going to dig into search term reports. We're going to find the winners across these SKUs and campaigns. and we are going to look at an ACOS of 30 or less. That's a good campaign. And we're going to search through this stuff here. And now there's going to be a whole list of search terms. Guys, the next thing I wanted to talk about in this presentation is spending weekly time on this search term report, and digging into the search term report will pay dividends. I can say that confidently from my own experience, from other people who have told me. This is absolute gold because it's going to tell you what people are looking for. It'll tell you how many times they're looking for it. It'll tell you how many sales you've gotten, how it's connected to your product, the CTR percentage, how relevant it is to what you're selling. Look at this one, cat treadmill. I never even knew that existed. I could potentially sell a cat treadmill and do some research, log in right there, and look, there's a $20 cat treadmill. I'm sure I'm looking at my cat right now. He would hate that thing. But anyways, people are looking for a cat treadmill. And apparently you can find that information out in the search term report. So the way we're going to use this is we are first going to, it's already pre-selected to remove ASINs. However, if you have an automatic campaign, you can take advantage of these ASINs. You can click on these ASINs and do more research. Somebody bought the cream when they were looking for a Python gravel kit. Like, this is what happened. We got exposure. Our sponsored products showed up. Our sponsored products showed up on this product page, and they bought our product. Now that I know that, I may want to advertise or do a reverse ASIN search for this, or if it's related to what I'm selling, quite like the maybe like the cat treadmill, I could go source a cat treadmill. Again, there's so many ASINs down here you can do that with. However, when you're adding to a campaign, you want to remove the ASINs because you cannot put the ASINs inside of a campaign. Also, this is going to be showing new keywords only. It's going to be showing keywords that are basically, they're not keywords inside of any of these campaigns. They're new. So we're showing new opportunities. Think of these words as individual words that are opportunities for you now to turn into keywords inside of a campaign, which what I'm going to do is select these and I'm going to add to a new campaign, which is the third campaign, the ACOS scraping. I hope this is starting to make sense. We're going to call this the ACOS-Corrigan, and we are going to go from there. Now, I'm not going to go over the specifics because the specifics are inside of the blueprint. Everything that you need to know is inside of here. Although I have not updated with the 4 ad groups for the research campaign. Just keep that in mind. What's new in 2018 is that if you're searching for keywords in search term expansion, which I lost my results, but if you're searching for keywords, then you can do 2 or more orders, because 2 or more orders means that it's much more relevant. Okay, so just double click on orders, and you can put the ones in there into your campaign that have 2 or more orders. Now you can add it to a new campaign, or if you've already set up an ACOS scraping, you could add to an existing campaign. All right, so great. And the next thing I want to show you guys, the last type of a campaign, is match type expansion. Here's where you're finding the keywords that have worked in a certain match type, likely broad or phrase, and you're going to test them out in phrase and exact. So this way you can have your profitable campaigns, which is your last campaign right over here, the PE campaign. Once again, we tell you how to do it in the blueprint, but you're going to go over here. You're going to select an ACOS. You're going to select your campaigns. And now we're searching for keywords. We're searching for keywords that have been doing really well in a certain match type, and then we're going to expand them. So if you look down here, these are the keywords that have done well in broad only. And it's telling us to test it in phrase and exact. We're looking at all of these SKUs and all of these campaigns, and we're finding all of just the broad match that are not in phrase and exact. Guys, this is a powerful way to find out what you're bidding on and test it in other match types. You can also go and find the ones in phrase only, exact only, broad phrase exact, all of this stuff to make it simple and easy. Just for simplicity's sake, we're going to find these, and then of course we're going to add it to a campaign called the I think we're going to add it to a new campaign. We're going to call this the PE campaign, P/E, which is 2 ad groups, a phrase and exact, with a slightly higher bid to the exact using the same keywords and the same product. And this is the one that we're trying to make a lot of money on. We're trying to get the very best keywords, the one that we know that they convert because we've gone through the filter, they've gone through the they've gone through this whole process and they've landed here and they've graduated. You could also start right away with your winners, the ones you know are going to be good, and get some campaign history because Amazon loves history. They love when sponsored products campaigns have history. They trust those more. You may even get a cheaper cost per click if it has good history and good CTR percentage. So go ahead and make those right away. We used to say wait for these, but you can go ahead and make them right away if you feel that the keywords are relevant and are very related to what you are selling. Okay, so we're going to dive now into campaign optimization because I know we're going through this stuff a mile a minute, but I think, there's a lot that we can cover in a short period of time. You may have to watch it again, but that's okay. Campaign optimization is broken down into 3 phases, phase 1, 2, and 3. Phase 1 is optimizing in bulk. This is where you can save a ton of money. If you have a big mess on your hands, this is where you go to clean it up. Then once that's all done, you go to phase 2, which is more individual fine tuning. And you go into each campaign and weed out some of the stuff, learn a little bit more about that campaign, what's working, what's not. And then phase 3 finally is Autopilot Mode, which we have some new features in Autopilot Mode, which I'm really excited about. And I hope that we can get to some of them on this call. So let's dive into campaign bulk optimization. And we're going to be doing a video series, Ian and I, on Thursday, going over this in detail. So be on the lookout for that. It will save you money. Guarantee. I can't guarantee it because I've been told not to guarantee anything, but it's saved us a lot of money. So let me show you what that's all about. Now, basically, there's 4 ways to optimize. All 4 ways are inside of the blueprint. So now, as you say, we have 4 ways to set up a campaign. We have 4 ways. There's actually 5 ways, but 2 of them are very similar. 4 or 5 ways to optimize campaigns. Again, everything's explained in the blueprint. Now, the first way is the most simple. We're simply finding SKUs that are underperforming. And you guys are going to be like air traffic controllers and direct traffic to things that are doing well and eliminate traffic from things that are not doing well. And let me show you guys an example and how powerful this is. I'm going to select all of the campaigns. And this is why it's important to name your campaigns. Like if I wanted to do research campaigns only, then I can type in research and optimize all of my research campaigns at once. Or I can do hundreds of campaigns at one time. Super powerful. I'm going to select this. I'm going to select all of the ad groups associated with that campaigns. As you guys are going to see in a little bit, we want to optimize on an ad group level. I'm going to go back 120 days, and I'm going to select a preset model. We're going to go for SKU bulk, high ACOS with spend, which is ad spend of at least $5 with a really crappy ACOS. $5 to spend, 50% ACOS or higher in the last 3 months. I'm going to apply this. And let's hope and pray that something shows up because there's not a lot of ad spend here. Oh, crud. Okay, so nothing showed up. So let's do $2 of ad spend. Okay. There it is. Okay. So here is an example of what showed up. So one SKU, we've looked in dozens of campaigns with dozens and dozens of ad groups, and we found the one SKU that's underperforming. And what we're going to do is we're going to pause that. You may come in here and find 12, 13, 20 SKUs that are underperforming. Then that doesn't mean that you want to pause those campaigns. You want to pause the SKUs inside of the campaigns that are underperforming. Again, you're like the air traffic controller. And the way I figured this out was that it was taking me forever to do this on Seller Central, and now you can do it in just seconds with SKU bulk optimization. The next one, which is super cool, is keyword bulk optimization. And again, we're looking at all of the campaigns and all of the ad groups, and basically there's 3 different things that we want to do. We want to either send more money and more traffic to what's working. We want to pause the keywords that are just really draining our bank account. And we want to send less money to the keywords that are almost working so that we can see if they will work. I hope that makes sense. Let me show you guys an example. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to look for keywords that have at least $2 in ad spend, but have an ACOS of 60 to 80%. Now, these are almost working. They're not quite there. They're making sales because the ACOS is there, but not profitably. We're losing money on it. We're just not bleeding money like some of the other things that I can show you guys if we have time. Okay, so now look at this. We have a couple of keywords here and the current bid price. What we can do is then select these and we can adjust the bid and we can lower by a percentage. Let's say we wanted to lower 10%, because here we have keywords that are performing, they're making sales, they're getting clicks, but the ACOS is high. So let's try to lower the bid price so that our average cost per click is in alignment with our ACOS goals of, let's say, 40%. That's one way to do it. The other way to do it is to change to new bid. New bid is a recommendation that our system will make to try to align your keyword with your ACOS targets that you set on the homepage, on the listing campaign page, okay? So there's two ways to play this. We want to lower the bid, we want to adjust the bid. Either way, we're trying to spend less money on the clunkers here. Now, there's a way to find really, really bad keywords. Let's say ones that have no ACOS and ad spend of $5 or more. We can find those and we can pause those. The key is you can do that in bulk and you can do it instantaneously. And the other key is that you can do it on an ad group level. So we're looking at all of the different ad groups and we're looking at the keywords inside of these different ad groups. And we're pausing the keyword in the ad group where it's underperforming. It may perform well in another ad group. So if you pause the campaign, then you're not getting what's performing well. But if you pause the keyword that's performing poorly inside of the ad group, now you're getting very specific targeted optimizations that are laser focused. And what you can do is simply select this and pause it, and that will go straight to Seller Central. One more thing, guys, because this is really big. If you find things that are working really well, let's say an ACOS of 1 to, let's say, 25, and you wanted to apply more money to it, well, I highly recommend heading into bulk optimization. This is what we've been doing with our EMS clients. We've been heading into right over here, and we've been finding the winners. Check this out. Sweet ACOSs. Let's send some more traffic this way, and we're going to adjust the bid, and we're going to raise bid by 5%. Now it's going to raise the bid price in an attempt to get more traffic to that particular winning keyword. Hope that makes sense. And we're going to move on. This search term bulk optimization is the fastest way to optimize. Again, it's in the blueprint. It is strategy number 4. And we're going to find the search terms. Let me give you guys an example that have 0 revenue and ad spend. Now, these are search terms. Think of the search term report before. We're finding the ones that have never made us money in the last 120 days. I think it's safe to say that if it has 5 clicks and no ad spend in the last, and ad spend in the last 120 days, we want to find these and we want to eliminate them. Now, again, guys, this is looking at all of your campaigns and ad groups all at once. We're going to select the ones that we want to get rid of. In this case, we could select all. And here's the most important thing. Add negative to an ad group level is tremendously important, because if you're not doing it on an ad group level, you could negative exact out a keyword, a search term, and it could get rid of that search term across the entire campaign. And it may be performing good in a particular ad group. But if you do it on an ad group level, as you can see, 16 were selected, and then we're going to do a negative exact and confirm there. If you do it on an ad group level, you're being very specific to the ad group and getting rid of only what's not working. All right. Last one, and certainly not the least, is negative word finder. Here's where you're finding individual words that are not linked to a sale. As you can see, these have not had revenue. So when somebody typed in the word window in a customer search term, and if somebody typed in window perch, like this, your ad, if you had a negative phrase match, it will not get shown anymore if you do a negative phrase. So if we know that the word window, anytime it's related to a search term that somebody's searching for, and we know it's not connecting well, we could simply select those and then put them in, of course, on an ad group level, because everything is specific to the ad group. And this time we would do a negative phrase match. Okay. And again, that's in the blueprint. Now, keep in mind, be very selective in these because they will potentially wipe out visibility for many search terms. So you have to do it on an ad group level, and you have to be selective in the ones that you choose. Okay. Let's dive into real briefly. I know it's already 6:30, and I'm sure we've covered a lot. Kelly, how do we add campaigns to the campaign optimization? I only have 2 ads showing. Kelly, to do that, you would have to go to Power PPC. And what you would do is one of these 3 modules. You could either go to, so you can go to, let's say, where is it? You can go to one of these campaigns, and then you can add an ad group right from PPC Entourage. Or you can go through the different modules and add it this way. So, for example, if you wanted to find the search terms and do an ACOS scraping campaign, you can set up a campaign right over here and do it that way. And then just add to new campaign. Okay. All right. I hope that has helped. The next thing I want to show you guys real briefly, and we have a boot camp on this, so this is not going to do it justice, but the autopilot mode is really cool. So we are now on phase number 3. Phase 1 was bulk optimization. Phase 2 is individual campaign fine-tuning, which you do by clicking on one of the campaigns and then going through the different modules, which go along with the blueprint. Okay, so these different modules will help you optimize this particular campaign. We call this fine-tuning. Again, the blueprint will shed some light on that. But the last thing is the autopilot, which is really cool, and we're getting it's getting more precise as we go, and very cool and intuitive. So I'm going to show you guys a campaign. There's different settings inside of the autopilot. And just think that this autopilot will look at keywords, individual keywords within a campaign every night. It goes in and it optimizes those keywords and looks at 90 days worth of data. So we take 90 days because we want precise, trailing data that's not too short but not too long, that keeps it relevant. So we look at 90 days worth of data. And we're basically going to set some targets. We want those keywords to be at 35. We want to set some thresholds, minimum number of days before we start waiting. And then we could begin to get a little bit more precise. We want to pause the keyword. If it's got a bad CTR percentage, I would recommend like 0.1. Or I really love this feature here. Let's say we have a keyword that's getting no impressions. Well, we can look at that and say we want to raise the bid price slowly over time by a few percentage points just to try to get more impressions for that keyword. So we choose this one all the time. Very cool feature. And then there's other features as well. The other one is search term optimization automation. So if we wanted to eliminate a keyword or search term rather that had 5 clicks but no sale like we did before, we would set it up here. And now here we have it on an ad group level, which is, like I said before, very important to do it on an ad group level. Last but not least at all, and definitely evolving, is day parting and seasonality. We are testing this out as we speak. What we're doing is we're setting it at 10 a.m. and we're going to go from 10 to 11. Oh, sorry. I messed up there. We're going to set it so that the way we've been doing it, we've been testing it so that we're not starting our ads until 11 in the morning Eastern time. Though I live on the East Coast, we'll use your local time. So that's saying that we're not starting our ads at night. We're starting it at the end of the morning so that we could potentially get people while they're actually on Amazon. Again, we're still testing this, but so far so good. And I highly recommend taking 1 or 2 campaigns and trying this out because we've had some good results so far. I will know more in about 2 weeks. Also, if you have some seasonality, you can turn campaigns off during certain parts of the year. And then you could also increase your bid prices slowly as that time approaches. So let's say your product sells really well in December. Well, I could start to increase my bid price, let's say October 1st by 2 cents a day or 2% a day and have it ramp up. And then I can then turn it off when it's unseasonal. Let's say it sells Christmas lights, sells nothing after January 15th. I can shut it off from January 15th until September 1st and then have it slowly ramp up from October 1st to December. We are going to have a lot more that comes with this because, as you can see, we can get really creative with this. We don't want to make it overly complicated, but we want to provide as much value as possible. So any ideas that you guys have, please feel free to ask. Last but not least, if there are any keywords that you are in love with and you don't want our system to do anything for, you would put them here so that we don't optimize or do anything for those particular keywords. The most recent feature that, if you guys have been around with us for a while, this was updated today. You can apply now for selected campaigns, which is really cool. So if you make an autopilot that you love and you're obsessed with some of these functions that you put in there, you can apply this now either to all campaigns, which I don't recommend, but some people do it, or apply it to selected campaigns. Let's say if you're selling Christmas lights, I would do that all for the Christmas lights campaign, and then select from there. This way you don't have to do it a million different times, which people were telling us was getting annoying. So that feature is live as of this morning. We're always adding some brand new things. All right, so guys, I know I just went through a lot of stuff. Be on the lookout because there's so much stuff going on with product display ads, headline search ads. We're going to be coming out with some advanced trainings, and also there's a lot going on with branding. If you guys haven't noticed, enhanced brand content, there's a section now where you can upload videos and keywords in your graphics and also comparison charts. So Amazon is making it, they're just coming out with stuff all the time, which is awesome. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. I hope your businesses are doing really well. I have a few minutes now, just a couple minutes to answer some questions. If not, head on over to the Facebook page and ask them inside of the Facebook page. And if you know of any Amazon sellers who are struggling with their PPC, please send them our way. We would really highly appreciate that because, as you can see, we love to help people out. And we are really excited about the software and making it as good as it can be. It's helped out my business. It's given me my freedom. I've gone to be able to travel now 3 times in Europe this year, never before the year before this. So it's just given me a lot of the Amazon has been such a blessing. And part of that is because of sponsored products, a huge part of that. And I want to help as many people as possible to leverage that. So that's what Entourage is all about. And that's it for today. If I don't see any questions, I'm going to hang around for another minute. And if I don't see anything, I will move on. Thanks for coming, Kelly, Dan, Mark. Oh, you're welcome, Dan, anytime. All right. Good stuff, guys. And I am going to head out. Enjoy your night and have a great summer. Bye, guys.